Hey, what's up, Gleppies? I mean, Fleeters. What's going on? How are you guys doing this week? Hope you all enjoyed this Bad Batch episode 8 reunion, because we got a lot to unpack here. Guys, joined as always by Gleps Gaming.
The Fleeters. Hope you all are having a good day. This episode is pretty crazy. I'm excited to
Pretty
discuss it.
crazy. Joined by Brandon as always.
Yo, Fleeters.
And joined by Josh Podante.
How's it going, Fleeters? If these guys talk about Ewok content one more time, I'm leaving this call.
You can't stop us from talking about Ewoks, man.
The people want it. Whoever commented, shout out to you. It's coming, okay?
Ewok content is coming for the channel
There are
soon.
multiple videos in the works.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, it's happening. But we're talking about Bad Batch today. Let's just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the bounty hunter in the room, that being CAD Bane, showing up in the last second and just yeeting Omega from Hunter. I mean, that was very unexpected. What did you guys think about that?
I was really not expecting that. I mean, I know at the beginning of the episode they talked about multiple bounty hunters, but did not expect to see another one so soon. I mean, I thought if anything we'd see Finnick again at some point, but kind of crazy to see another prominent bounty hunter that we've been missing for a while.
Yeah, just another thing we were talking about where they didn't take the easy route. They could have had Finnick show up again. They could have just let Crosshair try to attack them and fail. But CAD Bane, props to them. Props to Dave, as always.
Props to you, Dave. And yeah, no, I mean, it was just like what I really appreciate about this episode is like obviously CAD Bane as a Clone Wars fanboy, but also like this just really like ups the stakes for this next episode. And I think that's been something that the past several episodes haven't really had, where it's like they've just had their little thing and it's all been resolved in the same episode. And now that Omega's captured by CAD Bane, it's like, oh man, the possibilities are quite exciting. You know, we were just saying after the episode, what if we get to see next week from Omega's perspective, or at some point we get to see Omega's perspective with CAD Bane, what other bounty hunters could show up, right? Like, could we see Embo? Could we see Aura Singh? Could we see Boba? I mean,
Could we? I bet we will. I mean, we got a 33% chance for each of them, and I think there's a 100% chance that we see one of them.
I think, honestly, I would put money on Boba showing up, because the way that they were originally going to finish CAD Bane out in the Clone Wars is like him and Boba, they have a little duel, and that's how Boba gets the dink in his helmet, is from fighting CAD Bane. And so I think we have a very high possibility of Boba showing up. Plus, Boba's a clone, so that would just be perfect for this show. But anyways, speaking of duels, let's talk about the duel between Hunter and CAD Bane. I mean, what an intense scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I honestly wasn't expecting it to end so soon. I wasn't expecting Hunter to get wrecked so easily.
Yeah. I mean, he should have shot first, honestly, in my opinion. But no, I was like, I mean, for a second, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is he dead? And I was like, no, he's not dead. So thankfully he's still alive, but it's like, man. And then Crosshair's face got all cooked by the the engine thing. It's like,
But like you said, raising the stakes, you know?
yeah.
Hunter could have died. That's raising the stakes if I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Josh, do you want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. I was waiting for you guys to let me have a chance here. Well, I guess going back to the previous question about like, are we gonna see more bounty hunters? It's interesting because okay, if what we assume is correct, and then the Kaminoans, you know, the people that sent, I'm assuming it's probably sent CAD Bane to come and get Omega, because you know he shot Hunter, but he stunned Omega. So they had someone that wanted to have Omega alive. See, I'm kind of curious, like, we never found out who sent Fennec, and so did maybe the Kaminoans kind of relieve Fennec of her contract then, or did she like, man, I need help capturing it, let me do the unthinkable and partner with another bounty hunter and
I think
grab,
I think they hired multiple bounty hunters is what they did, you
It's
know.
not,
And
it's not from the beginning as if they hired multiple.
yeah, and they were just like whoever gets Omega first secures the bag, you know.
But I mean, could we be thrown for another loop where Cad Bane is working on his own or reports back to someone else, and Dave takes another turn like that? I mean, we never
Boba!
know.
Boba!
Back to Boba. What if Cad Bane double crosses the Kaminoans and the Empire has to bring in Boba? Or maybe the Empire hires Boba to take down Cad, who has stolen Omega.
Oh my god,
Could
wait.
this be the start of the Empire's contract with Boba?
Oh, that would be so cool. Oh my gosh.
Dave, if you're listening
And that would
right
be
now,
like that would be a perfect scenario to pit Boba and Cad against each other. Dang, that would be kind of crazy.
Dave, if you heard that one, give us credit. That's all I gotta say.
Put us in the credits.
I guess probably the biggest bro moment we've had so far, and just like Admiral Trench, you were saying, just finally having an episode that's not resolved in the 22 to 25 minutes that we have in each episode. We finally have a cliffhanger. We love you, Dave.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is the biggest cliffhanger so far at the end of an episode. And I think like the biggest questions I have going forward are still, what are Omega's powers? But also like the Kaminoan people, they were all like, we must enact the contingency plan. And I'm like, all right, like, what's the deal with this contingency plan? Like, are we going to learn about that? I mean, I'm sure we will, but like, those are my two big questions here. What do you guys think going forward? What are the big things you're looking out for?
I think maybe it's an oversight, or maybe it will be an oversight. But I mean, when Rekka was like, Plan 7, we could commit Plan 7 when they were trying to blow up the cruiser. I mean, like we mentioned earlier in the discussions, everything's a choice, and they didn't have to include him saying Plan 7. And so I feel like we'll hear about Plan 7 later on, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and I also think, you know, we didn't mention Crosshair at all. We have to definitely give Dave a hand for, you know, bringing Crosshair back in the fold and him just playing an automatically, you know, impactful role in the episode. But I mean, we saw him get burned by the ion engine, and I just kind of want to see where he goes from then. I know we were talking before the discussion, like, when he got knocked back, did his, you know, inhibitor chip get all shaken up again?
Maybe it did, honestly. I mean, his face got cooked, that's for sure. But
Yeah, I mean, originally when we came into this episode, I thought that there was a potential of them being able to capture Crosshair and yank his chip out, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So now I'm wondering if that's even in the cards for the rest of the series, if we're ever going to get Crosshair back, or if he's lost to the Empire for sure at this point.
I didn't even think about that.
That's a good
because
point.
if they were already on Braca and they fended off everyone else and caught Crosshair, they could have taken his chip out.
yeah.
Yeah, glad. That's what I was thinking too. Actually, that's what I was hoping when they first got him and like they were fighting him. I hope they were gonna like get the rest of the, like, I guess, more stormtroopers than clones now out of the way, and then take Crosshair into the machine and you know, get their old buddy back and have the what would that be, the 6 of them again, or 6? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's either way, a lot of unanswered questions here, but I think it's safe to say that this was a big shift, because it's like now we've got something kind of like keeping us invested, I guess. Now that Omega's captured, we're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next week? Which is, you know, something we were saying was kind of lacking in the past few episodes. So really cool to see that. I mean, ask and you shall receive. Last week we were like, man, we need some bro moments, and like, sure enough, we got bro moments in this episode. I'm really excited to see where things go. And yeah, any last thoughts, guys, before we wrap up?
Okay, this could actually be in the video. I'm reading that if Omega is force sensitive, then you have to consider, I'll just quote it from inverse.com. However, there's already one pretty major snag in that theory. The official novelization for The Rise of Skywalker specifies that force sensitive clones were all horribly disfigured, aka Snoke. And so, why is Omega as beautiful as she is, you know?
Well, I don't see Omega was made by the Kaminoans, though. And the Kaminoans are master cloners.
But it says that
able
all
to do it.
clones who were force sensitive were disfigured.
Interesting. I mean, that makes sense, but like, yeah, maybe. I mean, the Kaminoans are master cloners. Maybe that's part of their contingency plan. I don't know.
I feel like that's something that could be changed from the novels. And we've had things changed from novels before.
Right. I mean, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they were
because like Snoke is disfigured, but like, I think if it's like the Kaminoans, like they are known for the cloners.
Yeah.
Like, they're cloners as opposed to like scientists trying to make a suitable entity for Palpatine to possess or whatever.
Yeah, that does make sense that if the Kaminoans made it, they could have made her.
Right.
The article refers to Palpatine as Palps.
Palps. Dude, I wonder if we're gonna see Palps. I mean, Palps is in the poster for the show. I wonder if we'll see any more of Palps.
I feel like we gotta see some Palps.
I'd love to see some Palps.
So Palps sent one of his operatives.
Palps and Omega. I mean, are they related?
Well,
I just.
It says so. Palps sent one of his operatives after the Kaminoans. The theory suggests Darth Vader. That's perhaps wishful thinking, even with such a piece of speculation. Rather than surrender their secrets, the Kaminoans were wiped out, explaining why no further members of the long-necked alien species show up later in Star Wars.
That's true. I mean, I think the Kaminoans got another thing coming. Like, I think they're gonna get wrecked because we never see them again.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get wrecked too. It's unfortunate, but I think they're definitely going to be getting wrecked.
Unfortunate, but at the same time, like, I kind of hate them. So.
Yo,
Really?
there's a detail in the
No,
Mandalorian.
I don't really like them.
There's a detail in the Mandalorian that connects to this.
Oh, is it the Doctor?
Yeah, the Dr. Pershing.
Oh yeah.
While it's true that the Kaminoans haven't appeared past the Bad Batch in Star Wars chronology, their legacy as it pertains to cloning has long outlived them. And the tie-in and in the Mandalorian, it was confirmed that the cloning expert Dr. Pershing wore an insignia on his shoulder inspired by the Kamino-based clone soldiers. Could this mean Dr. Pershing has a connection to Kamino despite not being from there? Quite possibly.
I mean, he probably studied cloning because he's trying to dig up some of Grogu's midichlorians to make Snoke, presumably. So.
Yo, and that's true. The chips, like they could have done anything with the chips. It says Lama Su and Nala Se both might have moved to save themselves from the Empire's wrath. Just as the Empire programmed Order 66 into its clones, the Kaminoans could have worked a failsafe into the inhibitor chips, bringing the clones to Kamino to their aid during an attack.
Ooh. Wait, that is a theory right there. So perhaps the contingency plan has to do with them turning the clones against the Empire, which would align with my theory of the stormtroopers fighting the clone troopers in some massive battle in the end. And that's why, because like, we don't see any clone troopers in the time of Rebels. You know, besides Rex, Wolf, and Gregor. They're the only ones that have survived at that point. But like, it's not like, I mean, they must have been wiped out, is my point, as opposed to like dying of old age, because like a lot of them would have been old, but like you would have expected to see a lot of clones still around.
Yeah, it makes sense too, because if Palpatine is making clones, right, then the Kaminoans are against Palpatine, then Palpatine's gonna be really upset if they could make a Force-sensitive clone, and if they can do it, then it's setting up some sort of battle.
Yeah. Oh, this is all so very intriguing, and I'm very curious to see what Omega's role is in the contingency plan here.
It also explains why Palp's clones were all either beautiful but powerless Rey's dad, or powerful but ugly Snoke.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed our discussion. Hope you enjoyed this episode of The Bad Batch. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.